I want to talk to you about what's going on in Chicago. This morning at 5:19 East Coast time, the president made a post on Truth Social, and he said this: Chicago mayor should be in jail for failing to protect ICE officers. Governor Pritzker also. Now, for the president to call for the jailing of a governor or a mayor is obviously huge. And, in other times, people would say, oh, you guys have no sense of humor. Take him seriously, but don't take him literally. He's just trying to own the libs. No, he's not. He's trying to give a message to Attorney General Pam Bondi. And we know, if any of you have watched, and I hope you do if you haven't, watch the hearings in Congress yesterday where senators and congressmen were trying to interrogate at Pam Bondi the ways that the officials in the Trump administration are treating Congress members. Remember, everybody, we have three co-equal branches of government, and that system is exactly what the Trump administration is trying to take a hammer to. This is huge that the president has said that a governor and a mayor should be jailed. Now, if you've been watching, and I hope you have, both Mayor Johnson in Chicago and Governor Pritzker of Illinois have been standing strong. And Pritzker has said that Trump needs to stop what he calls the military invasion of his state. They're even sending National Guard members from Texas into Chicago. Now, remember, violent crime was down in Chicago. I don't think this is about minimizing violent crime anywhere, but this is a job of the states. This is a job for the states to handle. Remember, states' rights, all of that kind of stuff. We have a federal system. A federal system means that we have these states, what Alexander Hamilton called the laboratories of reform. It's so interesting to see this complete overriding of states' rights on the part of those on the far right, because the right usually stands, and at its best, the right does stand for not the primacy, but definitely the equality of state power in relation to the feds. Pritzker has said that he will not back down. The reason this is so huge, the reason this is so urgent, and why all of us need to be very, very clear about what's going on here, is that in any of these situations, one stupid move could create a national catastrophe. So we all have to show up for this, but how we show up makes all the difference in the world. Everything we do is infused with the consciousness with which we do it and has real life consequences. Number one, for those of you who pray, for those of you who do any kind of energy work, for those of you who do Reiki, whatever your practice is, please pray for Chicago. Put a mantle of protection and light around the city. Put light and protection around the governor, around the mayor. Send your light and protection to the National Guard there, to the soldiers there. I spoke to a National Guard member. I live in D.C., and so I've seen the National Guard around, and I respect. These guys are sent there. They didn't sign up to do this particular task necessarily, and there's no reason for us to believe that the majority of them even want to be there doing this task. I spoke to a woman, and I was respectful, and I said, I asked her, I said, do you have children? She said, no, ma'am. She told me the state she comes from. I said, are you just assigned to different places in the city? And she said, yes, ma'am. And I said, please know that we know how many of you don't really want to be here. And she just smiled like, yes, ma'am. It was kind of a moment, and there are a lot of those moments going on around DC and probably in some of the places that you are. Second, this is for those of you in Chicago. First of all, know we're praying for you. We're sending you good energy. I've seen a lot. The people of Chicago are alive and awake to what's going on. The people of Portland are alive and awake to what's going on. If you are in Chicago, get online, whether it's Indivisible or any of these other community groups. They are leading trainings, they're leading strategy. And I do mean, please be strategic. The highest level of strategy at this point is love that shows up. You show up in whatever way. Very, very smart people, whether they're connected to the mayor, whether they're connected to the governor, whether they're connected to any of these community groups. They are aware of the actions or the non-action that would best serve the purpose. Act consciously, act peacefully, carry a flower, sing a song, I say carry a flower. People go, oh, she's so silly. No, I'm not. That's energy. That's frequency. And that is what determines the emotional and psychological tenor of what is going on. Please remember what I said. One move, somebody throwing a stone, somebody shooting, things could happen that truly do set off a catastrophe that is out of our control. For those of you in Chicago, remember, we're thinking of you. People are praying for you. Show up, ask in your own heart, get online, find out what groups are really leading an effort about how to strategically counter what is happening there. Now, this is for all of us. Please hear me. What we need more than anything is for conscience-driven Republicans in power to stand up to the president. I'm old enough to remember Watergate. It was Republican senators who drove their car from the Capitol to the White House to tell Donald Trump that that told Richard Nixon that the gig was up. That was a time when people were real statesmen and they put their loyalty to the Constitution and to their country before their party or to any one man. I've heard enough to know there are some people, senators and so forth in the Republican Party who know and who say in private, this is bonkers. For reasons that we don't totally understand, they are silent. I know many of you are probably thinking, where the hell is John Roberts? What's going on here? We know that Mike Johnson in the House of Representatives, man, he's with the project. But you don't know about some of these senators particularly. If you have family members who are Republican, if you have family members, not only in power, obviously, but just people that you know, have them call their senators and their representatives in Congress. If I say to a Republican senator, sir or ma'am, you really should stand up, they don't care. But if I was a Republican constituent, they absolutely would care, or a constituent of their state. If you have a Republican senator, if you have a Republican House member, whether you are a Democrat or a Republican, you are a constituent. The phone number at the Capitol is 202-224-3121. 202-224-3121. Somebody just wrote, missing John McCain right now. Isn't that the truth? That man was a real statesman. And I think we don't know what's going on, guys. We don't know. We don't know if people are threatened. We don't know what's going on, but we know how important it is that we as citizens act. So for those of you who've been saying, there's nothing I can do, I live in a red state. Those of you in a red state, we need you, particularly right now. Call your senators, call Republican senators, Republican Congress people, anyone that you know, start making noise. Make noise, though, with respect. Make noise with honor, with decency. Don't demonize anyone individually or personally. That includes the president. Just say, I want the Constitution upheld. I am concerned that the president has called in his posts this morning for the jailing of Pritzker or the jailing of Brandon Robertson. We don't do that in this country. There are those who believe that Stephen Miller, perhaps, and others around the president are really gearing up to have an excuse to invoke the Insurrection Act. And if that happens, this country is really in trouble. Let's not get there. All of us be active. Ask inside what you can best do. Call your senators, call your congressmen. Don't think the Republicans don't matter. They do matter. There are decent, honest Republicans. Their silence is a mystery, including John Roberts. I don't know what's going on, but it's not our job right now to determine why they're not acting, but to ask ourselves, is there more that I can do? Okay? Thank you so much. Remember, stay strong and loving and encourage each other. Much love to all of you. See you later. Now I just got to figure out how to get out of here. Okay? Oh, wait. You know what? I have a few minutes before. Okay. I'm going to go down to classes. Anybody, if you have anything you want to ask me, okay, I'll do it. Thank you very much. To sit with senators who drove to the White House to tell Trump, yeah, we need that. Thank you. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. I don't see actual questions. I see comments. You're all sounding great, looking great. All of you. Thank you. If any of you have questions, that you want to ask of me, but I think I sort of kind of covered everything. Okay? Um, okay. I got it, and I think you got it too. Okay, much love to you. Remember to read, today I wrote a Substack about a dream I had about Donald Trump the other night. Okay? Much love. Talk to you later.